Ruud.
Hi.
If we reflect back on another difficult night, obviously a disappointing result, we saw a lot of the fans leaving as well. What has the mood been like amongst your players and for you personally?
Yeah, it's clear. I think it's blow after blow. It adds up, and I think I have to say after the Newcastle game, and I think it was visible as well, that I was hurt after the game. Of course, you're always hurt with when you don't win or things are not going your way, but it adds up, and that's what you have to recover from, and it's every time it's harder.
Mathematically, you're not down, but looking at the points now you've got to make up and the games you've got left, are you feeling resigned to your fate? Is there a fight left within you?
There's always a fight left, and I think there's always a future, whatever the scenario, and when that comes to a conclusion, either way there is a future, and that means there is a fight, and it's always like that.
Have you got a group of players that are fighting?
I think it's the challenge to break the cycle. We need personality, character to break this cycle. It's going on too long. It's very hard, but there's only one way to break this cycle, and that's to fight and show character, show personality, believe that we can end this cycle. On the other hand, you learn so much. You learn so much in difficult times, and also know when you get out of this, you can use that in a great way. And that's the way I am. I learned so much in these 4 months. I'm committed to now to break the cycle, and also in the lessons learned to shape the future, and that is my job, my responsibility, and I don't walk away from anything. That's happening now.
Do you still feel you have a future here at this club then? Have you had discussions with the hierarchy surrounding your own personal future?
No, I do my job. I do my job. As I said, I'm committed to work with the players and the club to fight through this, to show that we want to and can break this cycle. We also know that we're among 2 other promoted teams. One where we're 7 points above, and one we're 3 points behind. So I mean, we shouldn't also over dramatize and listen to all the stats. Of course, that's happening over the last months. So that's also the general picture, to put it in perspective. But I'm doing my job as long as I'm needed.
For you personally though, how difficult is it to see speculation, the noise around you, when you see other managers being linked with your job? How hard is that for you?
Yeah, I'm not new in this game, and it's part of it. As a player as well, when you're the new striker somewhere, your speculations are there, and then it happens to yourself that you're the striker somewhere, and there's a new kid on the block. And also as a manager, I've been lucky to win 2 trophies in my first season as a manager. I don't want to over dramatize that success, either this moment in time, which is very difficult. So I just want to stay constant, stay stable, and do my job.
Is there any regret from you now in terms of the sort of the move you made in coming here, and maybe how you thought the future might be here? Is there any sense of regret now?
No, there's more. For me, it's more, okay, we're in this situation. We can't change anymore. It's how we get out in the short term, as I said, breaking this cycle. getting something, what can ignite a move upwards, and taking full responsibility for it and fully committed to this task. I mean, it's why I came here, to in any circumstances do my job.
Just in terms of matters on the pitch, you obviously need your players, you need them all performing, you perhaps need some more experienced heads on the pitch, but you've also got a 15-year-old in Jeremy Mungo. Just sort of tell us how you felt about his minutes and what makes him so special.
It's great, the reward for his talent and the work that he put in. Of course, at such a young age and being the second youngest ever in the Premier League, it says something about how early he developed already. He has the physical capabilities also to do so, the mental capabilities to handle this. But we have his pathway ready for him, and we're going to guide him through that. And we don't want to go too quickly, neither too slow. And that's a careful communication with the coaches at the club, and of course we have Andy King, who worked with him in the youth teams, and he's guiding him in a great way, and help him develop to his fullest, because the talent is there.
Can that be a real positive to take, that you've got some young talent like that actually the future can be bright for this club in terms of some of the young talent you've got here?
Yeah, that's also what I mean with committed to the now and shaping the future. That is today again. Players are part of the setup and getting opportunities in the training sessions, also in games when we feel they're ready, like Jeremy. And there's more, and we are close in a close watch with them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Best.
Thanks.
John T from PLP. Good afternoon, Ruud. You talk about attempting to break a cycle. I wondered what that process looks like. You've played for some of the biggest clubs in the world. You've played under some of elite managers to ever grace the game. Have you had external conversations, perhaps, and what's that kind of process looked like? Perhaps seeking advice from others, in fact.
Mm-hmm. Of course, you work with your coaching staff and looking at what is needed to what does the team need. And of course, there's a lot going on emotionally, mentally, and that is the big thing, you know, to motivate the players, to speak to them a lot individually as well, and motivate them, and being there, being the example yourself, doing my job, taking full responsibility, and show the character and personality to break this, because that is the foundation to do so. So the motivational part to the individual and the team is something that we work a lot on, and also hold the players accountable always on standards and on training intensity, on game performances, and that combination you want to make things happen, and that things will change.
Have you had any conversations with any of your former managers? Have they reached out to you, and what perhaps, if so, what perhaps have they looked like?
No, but I think we're in a job where you are in constant contact with people around you and close to me, and yes, part of those people is always are also former manager or current managers, former teammates. So that is part of my people who are close to me and are very helpful. Yeah.
And it's clear to see you are looking for footballing ability on the pitch, no doubt, to secure a result this weekend. But perhaps more, what humane characteristics are you really looking for from your team in order to attempt to get you out of this situation?
Oh, it's clear. I think every game and the players are they want to do better and want to stop this run, and but when after 2 minutes and after 10 minutes you get 2 goals against you, then of course it's fragile, and that happened too much to stay in the game. It was against City and also against Newcastle. We concede too early, and more our faults are leading into the goals than brilliant play of the opponent. So that is what we have to look at, and but again, only with personality and character you can change this and get up and go again. There's no other way.
Well, next up is Brighton. What do you make of them? What kind of game can we expect, and what kind of a game do you need to see from your team?
It's clear what we want to do. I think it's important to play free. To play free. Okay, what can happen? You know, I think the players worry too much, which is normal. So they're not free. They're not free enough to show their qualities. It's and that is something where the character comes in to put that aside, and able in these circumstances, you force yourself to be at your best, and keep that confidence and mental toughness going, and that's what we have to show.
Just finally for me, therefore, can we expect changes from you this time? We've seen you tweak system a couple of weeks ago. You went unchanged last time out. Can we perhaps see something more dynamic from you? Is that what you're looking for?
No, it's what I always look for. I think when you go to a back five to survive, to get results, and that could be something to change. It could be something against Brighton that we're going to go back to a back four. It doesn't matter. I don't think it's in tactics or in systems. It's more about the emotional, mental part. But we'll see.
Thank you. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Hi, Ruud. Just ahead of the game this weekend, do you have any fresh injuries in the squad at all?
Yeah, we have Wout Vaas, who has picked up a small injury. He couldn't train today, so we have a look tomorrow. Of course, it's short towards the game, but that's the only one.
Okay, I wanted to check on Ricardo as well. Obviously, been involved off the bench over the last couple of games. How is he doing? Is he fit enough at this stage to start a game, do you think, or is that asking a little bit too much of him?
Yeah, he's been out a lot, but he always looks after himself very well. But we want to do the right thing with him and build him up in the right way. But I think he's definitely possible for him to start.
How big of a positive is that for you in terms of what he can offer you in the shape that you might want to play? Because I remember when you first joined, you talked about the 3-box-3 shape as your kind of preferred system, and Ricardo plays that inverted fullback very, very well. So that must feel like a positive for you to have that option available.
Yeah, it's a great option, of course. That's the big advantage is then you can play with two wingers on the side. And that is great, and you see it also when he came on in the second half, and we started the second half with Facundo and Steffi on the side. So and can be definitely something to build on, because I know the game was over, but in the second half we showed some positives. After that, Jeremy came on also as the winger. And then Ricky can fulfill that role really well. He got us playing as well, out of the back, and he's such a positive influence in changing this momentum.
One player who hasn't been involved over the last couple of games, has had a lot written about him and spoken about, is Harry Winks. What is his situation right now?
No, it's something I said after the game. I think the club is in a period now that it shouldn't be going about individuals. It should be going about the club, about showing character and mentality, personality to get out of this situation, and that is the main focus.
Is he available for selection this weekend?
No, as I said, the conversations with with individuals take place inside, in between closed doors, and it's important to keep it like that.
Last week you spoke about the future of the football club and the alignment between yourself, the vision, the club, the players, and you said that those conversations hadn't necessarily started. Have they begun now?
As I said, I'm committed to the now, so it means that I'm fully I'm doing everything I can together with many people in this training ground to turn it around. And when conversation is going to take place on the future, I wait and see.
Are you keen to have those conversations?
It's important to, as I said, I've learned so much over the last 4 months in every part of this club, and to shape a future. It's great lessons learned, and you know it's a big motivation to build the club back up, and that's what's important, and so that combination I'm trying to do.
Is that the future that you would like, that opportunity, if this alignment can happen, to continue with the football club? I know you said you're focusing on the here and now.
Yeah.
That is a question that will inevitably carry on over the next few weeks.
Yeah, of course, and I will tell you more when things are happening.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we'll take one from Colin, BBC Sports.
Hi there, Ruud. You mentioned earlier on your reference being at the bottom with other promoted clubs. I just wonder, now you've been in this for a while, what does it take, do you think, for a promoted club from the Championship to bridge what looks like an enormous gap now into the rest of the Premier League?
I think the longer the teams stay in the Premier League, the better they get. You know, so if now for a couple of seasons now the same teams stay in, the same 17 teams, they all are gonna invest like massive amounts of money and get better on top of how good they are. So it appears then that the gap will only be bigger.
Well, with that in mind then, has it become almost impossible for a promoted club to bridge that gap?
No, I don't think you can say that. I don't think that you can say that. I think what I think the target is now for Leicester City is to be built back up. You know, because you're in the Premier League, you're in the highest division. It's for something. 2 years ago they got relegated, they got promoted. Very difficult to stay up, that is clear. Very difficult for the last games to compete. And but it's important to use the lessons learned from promotion, relegation, and let's see what the future holds. That experience is great, is valuable, and you can use to do better. And yes, I think it is possible to do so.